What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. Today's video is a Q&A. Again, thanks for all the questions you left last week. Again, if you've got any questions for next week, then please just leave them down below. The more questions you leave, the better the Q&A is going to be. So just drop them in the comment section below and then we're good to go. So the first question is, hey Mark, my right hip is outwardly rotated more than my left is. If this is based on genetics, as my dad has the same issue, is it something that you can fix or something you have to work around? On my squat, my right foot rotates outward more than my left foot. Thanks, keep up the good work. Thank you, I will. Okay, that's a really good question. Now again, I'm not a physical therapist, you know, I'm not a chiropractor, I'm not kind of trained in those fields. But what I would recommend is, honestly, first and foremost, is it causing you problems? You know, so if it's causing you problems, then it's dysfunction, you know, and you need to kind of get that sorted. Now, yes, you know, a big misconception is that people think that we are completely symmetrical, you know, and we're not. No one is symmetrical. It doesn't happen. You know, you have a liver on one side and you don't on another. You know, the right side of your lung or your right lung is bigger than your left lung. You know, one side of your brain is dominant to the other. You know. You're either right-footed, you're either right-handed and right-footed, or left-hand, left-footed. You know, we're not symmetrical, and it's false to think that we should be symmetrical. However, can there be differences in hip structure from side to side? Absolutely, there can be differences, and those differences can maybe lead to, you know, maybe one side, your right foot being slightly more outwardly rotated. Now, is it causing a lack of efficiency in your squat? Is it causing you problems? If both of those are no, and you're completely injury and pain free and it's not causing anything, then is it something you should chase to look and fix? Well, I mean, you know, I don't think it maybe have much harm to have an osteopath or a really good physical therapist to look at it, you know, and be like, you know, actually, although it's not causing you problems right now, it is because by X, Y, and Z, and if we kind of fix these issues, then it'll maybe become, you know, it'll become more balanced, you know, from side to side. Or they're just like, you know, actually, you know, your hip structure, just the way your hip structure is, this is the way it is, it's not causing you kind of any problems, whatnot. I think you're good to go, you know. So that's something that you've got to ask yourself, you know. But again, what I would always say is, if you're in doubt, seek a really good physical therapist or an osteopath. I wouldn't 100% recommend going and seeing a chiropractor for an issue like this. So yeah, I would recommend a physical therapist, an osteopath, or maybe someone that's qualified in both. Nope, that's not a question. Hi Mark, what is the best way to increase strength without losing conditioning? Again, that's a great question. I assume this might be from a fighter's perspective, or maybe a football player, a soccer player, or something like that. You know, the best way to gain strength without losing conditioning is to simply do what's necessary to maintain or increase your conditioning while doing what's necessary to improve your strength. So, for example, if you're a fighter, you know, again, obviously, I'm not going to tell you what you should and shouldn't do. You know, I was a boxer for many years, but you know, realistically speaking, it's going to be a smart idea for you to look to maybe really improve your high bar back squat, your power clean, your push press, your deadlift, you know, your chin-ups. You know, it'd be really good idea to really get those movements stronger. And you would also just do your conditioning drills, and also your drills that are going to obviously be very sport specific, like doing pad work, sparring, things like that. So the best way to do it is simply do strength training with proper programming and proper progression protocols while doing the conditioning drills and also your actual sport specific training as well. It's really that simple, and obviously as you get closer to a fight, you know, your weight training would obviously take a big back step. Do you plan on deloads? If so, how often, or just listen to your body and take it easy when needed? Yeah, deloads are planned. I do not really like it, take it easy when needed. I think it's quite a flawed statement. You know, I think it's very flawed. And the reason I think it's very flawed is because, you know, if you're doing a proper for example, if you're kind of one of my athletes and you're a competitive powerlifter, you know, we're going to run into phases, or let's say an accumulation phase, where we have got you doing some volume work that is getting to a total poundage that is pretty damn nasty, and you're not going to be feeling very good. You may feel a little bit, you may feel maybe quite fatigued, quite mentally fatigued. Motivation might not be as high as it has been in the past. You know, you might just generally feel a little bit beat up. Nothing major, nothing massively dysfunctional, but just generally a little bit beat up. And then, you know, that would then suggest, oh, let's just take it easy. But it's like, no, let's not take it easy. You know, we're still in the accumulation phase. This is the part of it. We're in a very, very high stress training phase right now. And if you're in a really high stress training phase, it is normal, expected and planned for to feel the effects of that high stress training phase. You know, now yes, if someone's injured and constantly getting injured, then maybe, you know, we can take, it'd be maybe a good idea to take a deload. Or a deload, you know, but I think to just take it easy when it's necessary, I think is a flawed statement, you know, because if someone was doing, me for example, if I was just to take it easy when it's needed, I would never get through a month without having a deload, you know, and I feel that by doing so, you know, maybe you need to reevaluate if you really want to improve, or you're into the sport of powerlifting or strength sport as much as you say you are, maybe, you know, let's just get onto a program that's going to be a little bit easier on you. But yeah, deloads are planned, you know, obviously, you know, taper if we had a competition, you know, so for example, say we had a 15-week competition, you know, we might have some AMRAPs in between that. If we have maybe an all-out AMRAP, we might have maybe a mini taper for half a week before that, you know, so you'd have a taper before competition, have a deload post-competition, you know. So yeah, deloads are planned always. Any advice on how to balance rugby and lifting? I use lifting to get stronger, but then I'll have trouble fitting in lifting and in season, especially when I get injured, etc. Any advice in maintaining in season and staying healthy? It's a great question, and awesome that you are weight training. Yeah, the way to balance rugby and training is when you are off season in rugby, you are keep making strength gains the absolute priority in the gym, and when you're in season, performance, on-pitch performance is the number one priority, and all we are looking to do is maintain strength levels within the gym. Now again, I'd be here all day if I was to talk you through and plan a program. It also depends on your level of advancement. You know, if you're not squatting 100 kilos yet, and you are a rugby player, we could probably look to make pretty good strength gains in season. But if you're pretty advanced, off season, say you have, I don't know, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, we are going to be looking to really gain as much strength as possible in those 12 weeks. And then when in-season starts, on-pitch performance is number one priority, and we are just looking to literally maintain your strength levels throughout the rugby season. And any advice on staying healthy? Yeah, you know, staying healthy in season, you know, you need to make sure you're always fully hydrated. Taking stuff like fish oils, omega-3s would be a good idea. You know, doing stuff if you're in season, you're really not looking to gain much muscle, you know, so doing stuff like maybe having ice baths, things like that nature would be good to kind of help keep inflammation down. Doing as little as possible by being able to maintain your strength in the gym is going to be a good idea. And unfortunately with rugby, you know, it's so physical and so much contact, it's going to be hard to stay injury free, so you know, you can't kind of plan or predict what could happen on the pitch. You just can't. In terms of people, a personal trainer, coach, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? Do you have any long-term goals, what you want to do with coaching? Okay, great question. You know, no, I don't plan ahead. It's not me. You know, some people like to make 5-year plans, 10-year plans. It's not me. I literally just take, you know, I literally live with the viewpoint, you know, I'm going to live life on my terms. I'm going to live life on my terms. I'm going to do what I want to do in my heart. I'm going to follow my heart, and I'm going to do what I want to do. You know, that can change in a heartbeat. I don't know if that's going to be the same from a year from now. You know, are there some visions I maybe have myself in maybe 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? Yeah, there definitely is. But no, I don't make long-term plans. I really don't. It's just not me. I just literally take it day by day. I'm far too impulsive, far too impulsive to make long-term plans. So I just take it day by day. I live life on my terms. I do what I need to do every day, and you know, where I'll be in 5 years will happen. I love how you laugh at your own jokes. Yeah, well, at the end of the day, if I'm not going to laugh at them, then who is, you know? Need to go through 15 different people, certified Scottish fuckboy, I reckon. No hate, just love, Mark. So, well, we will skip by that question. Awesome Q&A, Big Red Sugar Daddy, thank you very much. Love the Q&As, they keep me laughing and provide some great info. Awesome, that's really good, like that. Right, whilst abroad for around 4 to 6 weeks with limited access to powerlifting equipment, open brackets, India, closed brackets, what percentages would you work with and how much volume in all 3 lifts to ensure the best chance of maintaining strength? Also, the quickest way to regain strength after a layoff. There's no real set percentages. I would say if you've got limited access, go in and do what you can. You know, if you're able to squat, bench and deadlift, then awesome. If you're able to squat, bench and deadlift, awesome. You know, just go about your programming as planned. If you're not able to squat, bench and deadlift, then you know, just find alternatives. I wouldn't worry too much about trying to work out specific percentages and things to do and making things complicated when you've got a limited access of equipment. I would honestly say go and just do what you're able to do. If you know, it's literally just find out what you're able to do, see what's on the card, see what movements you can do, and once you find that out, then you can maybe kind of start planning in certain things. And quickest way to regain strength after a layoff, get back to proper programming. You know, it's as simple as that, you know. Just get back to proper programming and the strength will come back. If the next Commonwealth Champs is in New Zealand, how quickly you buy a plane ticket? Very quickly as my little fat fingers would be able to type onto the laptop. What's your opinion on Eddie Hall's 500 kilo deadlift? I think it is unreal, phenomenal, awesome. Not enough words to describe how amazing and awesome it was. Probably one of the most, if not maybe the most incredible strength feat on the planet, and it should be celebrated. Opinion on veganism? It's not for me. It's not for me. It's not something that I would believe in. However, I'm a big believer in if you're doing something that makes you happy and you're not hurting others, then I will support you and go for it. If you're a vegan, awesome. If that's your beliefs, awesome. You know, I will support that. How to trust a female? Find someone that is trustworthy. Where do you get your PT certificates from, Mark? I live in Glasgow and was thinking about going for them, but there's quite a few places to choose from. I got my personal certificates from Pegasus, out of the David Lloyd in Annie's Land. Awesome service. Really, really good. The dude that owns it, Ray, yeah, awesome guy, really good service, and it was a really, the course itself was awesome, really good. So Pegasus, they've got a website, just type into Google. What advice could you give to someone who high bar squats and finds lower back slightly rounding, in other words, chest tilting down slightly during the ascent of a heavy pause squat? Thank you, or cheers in advance. Okay, so you've got some form of upper back collapse on your squats when coming up. Your upper back is weak. You know, again, I know you said your lower back rounds. Your lower, I mean, again, I'm kind of imagining, but I think it's probably a case of your upper back is collapsing. Weak upper back. If you've got a weak upper back, do things that are going to help improve that upper back strength. Doing high bar squats, which you do, will help that. Doing things like front squats will help that. You know, and maybe not always working up to absolute one really heavy work all the time, and constantly ingraining that collapse. You know, scale things back, work between 60 to maybe 75, 78%, maybe even 80%, and ingrain a solid motor pattern and solid movement patterns, and teach yourself to not collapse and strengthen that upper back. What's your favourite part what you like to mostly when you work out. What's your favourite part that you like to do mostly when you work out? What's your favourite part that you like to do mostly? I'm not sure 100% what you mean. I just like training, you know. Shock, fat boy likes training. Yeah, I just really enjoy training. There's not really much else to say. There's nothing specific that I like the most. Obviously, probably lifting heavy is my favourite thing to do. So thanks for watching, guys. Please like, comment and subscribe and leave your questions below.